Good evening. How y'all feeling? Are y'all feeling all right? Well, thank you for coming out to tonight's program. As you know, we will be talking about the Dollar Housing Initiative, a program started right here in the city of St. Louis. I have been working on this program for roughly 2 years, and with the help of LRA, SLDC, and a collaborative of organizations, we finally got it done. So tonight, that's right. We finally got it done. So it's important that all of you are here tonight. The program process will be revealed. The eligible properties on the list will be revealed. So I'm glad and satisfied to have you all here and to see a packed room full of eager people who are ready to reinvest in St. Louis, especially North St. Louis, brings nothing but joy to my heart. I was watching my favorite movie a few days ago. It's called The Black Panther. And as King T'Challa was talking about his hometown and his home nation, he was talking about Wakanda. And I could not help but to think in my own mind and in my own heart that North St. Louis, South St. Louis, that's the real Wakanda. What we have to ask ourselves is, are we ready to reinvest in our own Wakanda? That's the question. So that's exactly what this program and this initiative was birthed out of. Reinvestment in North St. Louis, reinvestment in South St. Louis, reinvesting in historically disenfranchised communities, like the 21st Ward, in which I'm happy to represent, which I did not announce. I did not announce that. I did not announce who I was, did I? But y'all know me, right? I'm the good-looking guy right there with the $1 million smile. Hold on, I can do that. That's me. No, I'm John Collins-Muhammad, and I have the pleasure and distinct honor of serving as the Alderman of the 21st Ward in the city of St. Louis. So again, that's right. Come on, 21st Ward, right? Thank you for being here. Where is it? Wakanda? Who had the question? Wakanda? Oh, I was serious. It's Wakanda. I'm kidding. It's situated right in North St. Louis. Think about Fairground Park, O'Fallon Park. We know the neighborhoods we come from, right? Penrose, DeVille, Kingsway East, Fairground Place. This is the 21st Ward. Is anybody from the 21st Ward in here? Oh, yeah. Y'all better act like y'all know. But we're going to get this meeting moving right along. And it is my honor to bring up the mayor was unable to be here today. Come on. But she did send her chief of staff. She did. And in some ways, he is more important than the mayor because he's the one who actually called the shots. He won't admit it, I will. But he's a colleague I had the opportunity to work with in the Board of Aldermen, Steve Conway, who served as Alderman of the 8th Ward. And as he was Alderman, he did a program similar to this, and it redeveloped his community completely. My goal is to redevelop North St. Louis completely. And we're going to get it done right here tonight. All right? So give a round of applause to the Chief of Staff to Marilita Cruzen, former Alderman Steve Conway.
Thank you, Alderman. He said 10 minutes. I'm still apologizing. You don't ever give us a microphone and say 10 minutes. A couple of things. I apologize on behalf of Mayor Cruzen. She was committed to another community meeting this evening some time ago, and it starts at 6:15, and so she couldn't be here. But I'm moved by the enthusiasm and the people that are here in the room, because you are what will make a difference going forward in the city of St. Louis. Most importantly, I'm getting older, but that demographically, I've got young people here in the room. And we realize now that that's who we have to bring back into the city of St. Louis. They pay earnings tax, they spend their money, they spend sales tax, and we have a vibrant housing stock. You've been to other cities here in the kind of Northeast, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. They don't have brick buildings like we have. These buildings are ready. And the mayor's embarked on a complicated process to do as much as we can here in the city to address some of the problems of blight that you see. The one is we started our vacancy program. You can log on to the City of St. Louis's cityofstlouis-mo.gov and go to our vacancy portal. And what you're going to find is all of the properties that we know that are vacant, all of the properties that are scheduled to be demolished. We've doubled the amount of funds we're using to demolish buildings. We're working with MSD, we're working with Clean Sweep, and in 2018, the year that just ended, we took down 313 buildings as compared to 147 in the year 2017. We're building capacity to demo the buildings that need to be demoed, that are, a scourge on your community, that invite crime. Nothing good happens in a vacant building. We know that, you know that. We will continue to upgrade our capacity. We bid this out to small contractors to take down these buildings, and it costs about $10,000 or $12,000 to take down each vacant building. We have 320, and you can look at the next 320 that are going to be coming up in the next 90 days on the list to come down. I know the weather's a little cold, but we should, I can't say I'm going to double 313, but we will do better in 19 than we did in 18. There's a couple other tools that we have to get these properties back into your hands and people that want to be here in the city of St. Louis. We have a mow-to-own program. If you own a house and you've got a vacant lot next door, we will give you that lot. And since we started that program, we were able to unload or give away or enhance people's properties by giving them 500 lots in the past, since this program has started. The other thing we've done is we've taken some of our economic development money so that we could hire planners for the neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis, that whatever neighborhood you live in, you don't know what the plan is and where the investment is and which buildings are going to be saved and how's my property being protected and what are we doing collectively as a community to tell us what we're going to do, but then also to let investors know that you have a plan, you've participated. This planning process we will take to every neighborhood. We've hired 2 full-time planners to draft plans for each of the neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis. And with a plan, you can take that to developers, you can take that to young couples that are looking for a home. It's a really, really interesting program. It's something that you absolutely have to have. We've funded it for this year. We're going to start with 2 people, and then in March, we may add 2 more. We want to get this program going, and we want to give you a sense of direction. And it's not we, the city, giving you a sense of direction. It is a timely process because it will all be done by the neighborhoods and the communities that we're planning for. We're really excited about some of the things that we're doing. In April of 2017, the people in the city of St. Louis voted for what they call Proposition NS, a very, very small property tax to allow us to borrow up to $40 million to put roofs, gutters, and tuck pointings on buildings that can be preserved in your neighborhoods. And this week, this Friday, we will finally get that bill passed. What had happened was the election board said it didn't really get enough votes. We said it did. It got 4/7. Finally, in September, the judge ruled in our favor that it did pass, and we will have $6 million a year for basically the next 7 years to put into these LRA properties, the ones that can be preserved, the one that's going to leave the biggest hole on your block in your neighborhood, the ones that can be preserved, and then we will sell them. And what that really means is if I don't have a roof on there or a gutter or the tuck pointing is no good, it's going to end up on my demolition list. And that's not what we're trying to do. We have a beautiful, rich, historic architectural characteristic to each of our communities, and we need to preserve that. When I first became alderman in the 8th Ward, I used to stand, we had 2 events a year to sell houses, and I used to sell in the 8th Ward. Now think of what neighborhoods this is. It's a Shaw neighborhood. Everybody thinks it's too expensive to live there today. But when I started 28 and a half years ago, I was standing on the street corners selling houses for $1 a piece. And those people that made that early investment because they had confidence in the community and the direction we're going, and that's what planning will do, obviously made some money because the value of their properties went up. And we plan to take that strategy, and this dollar program would be one of the collective tools that we're coordinating to make, well, really, to make the property available and to take it out from the ownership of the city of St. Louis, which we technically don't own them. Ms. Costello up here heads up LRA, they own them. And you think, well, where do we get all of these crummy pieces of property? Everything that LRA owns, for the most part, like 99.9% of what they own is property that the prior owner didn't pay the real estate taxes on for 3 years. And now all of a sudden, it comes to us and it's our burden, which is your burden because you're the one that pays the taxes while I board up and I cut, and it puts an incredible burden on you and your neighborhood and on the city of St. Louis. But we're excited that this program will be another tool that we will have in our arsenal to get the properties back online and to help preserve our communities. I am going to be here and will be able to answer any other questions. I appreciate Alderman Collins-Muhammad. I went to one of his community meetings a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, and I don't have the exact numbers, but I do have the multiplier that in the 21st Ward in 2018, we had demoed twice as many as we had the year before.
37, second highest in the city of St. Louis.
So that's why I got invited back. Thank you.
Let's give the Chief of Staff to Mayor Cruson a round of applause. So I hope y'all really understand what he said. Proposition NS was a ballot initiative that was passed a few years ago that basically would put roughly $40 million in investments on LRA houses, potentially the houses you guys can buy right now. So if the house needs a new roof, we'll put it on. If it needs some foundation work, we'll get it done. This will make it easier for people to buy LRA property, and that was an initiative that the mayor led along with SLACO and other community organizations, and she got it done. And I give honors where honors is due. Let's give the mayor a round of applause for that. If you ever try buying from LRA, then you know Laura Costello. She needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Real Estate of the City of St. Louis, Ms. Laura Costello.
Okay. I actually see a lot of purchasers of LRA property out here in the crowd, and actually some repeat customers. But as most of you know, the LRA is the owner of last resort for properties that have been abandoned in the city of St. Louis. When they come into our inventory, they've been vacant and abandoned for at least 5 years, if not 10 years. The condition of the properties when they come into our inventory is poor. And I would say we take in about 400 to 500 properties every year that we have to maintain, insure, cut the grass, board up, everything else. And as some of you may know, we sell the property. We're online. We're trying to sell these properties to put them back on the tax roll. When Alderman John came to me and said, Laura, why don't you give these properties away? I tried to explain to him that we have maintenance costs, we have a staff, we can't just give them away. And he said, well, you should, and the ones that have been in your inventory even longer, that you can't sell yourself, why don't you just sell those for $1? And then I said to him, well, a lot of those properties are really big, they need a lot of work. What if we said, we'll look at properties that are 1,500 square feet, not these 3,000 square feet with no roof, no back wall, no plumbing, etc. So he said, yeah, I want to come up with a program. And I want it to be called the Dollar Program. I want you to sell properties that have been in your inventory for at least 5 years. So we've had the chance to sell them, and we can't sell them for $1,000. So why don't you sell them for $1? Make it manageable. Use the same restrictions that you have. The people have to have a budget. They have to go through the building. They have to come up with a budget. They have to have some source of income or financing or seed money to get started, kind of like the Finest 15 program. You have to have some funds to get started on that project. And I said, okay. So we met a couple times, and he's pretty, not pushy, but eager. And he kept on us, and then we kind of defined some perimeters of the program. But here we are, the Dollar Pilot Program, and I think the alderman's going to come over.
Ever since I became alderman, me and Laura Costello have become really great friends. I don't think there's any other alderman who bugs her as much as me. I agree. Alderman Sam Moore from the 4th Ward, probably more. He's a good guy. We're gonna move this right along. Turn your attention to the 2 monitors here, or the 2 walls. Pretty good looking walls though, right? Let's give her a round of applause. We got this facility for free tonight, which is good, because I'm broke. One of y'all finna take me out to eat after this, too. I like Domino's. Boom. Do you believe in a dollar and a dream? If you believe in a dollar and a dream, raise your hand right now. That's good. That's all of you. Y'all better. So, purchasing LRA property. Yeah, this your lane.
Okay, I can't see that very well. Find a property. As most of you know, we have property lists available at the office and online, and we actually have, for just specifically this program, we have 550 properties that are eligible for this program throughout the city. We really want you to go through that building and see what the building needs. I actually see a lot of purchasers of LRA property out here in the crowd, and actually some repeat customers. But as most of you know, the LRA is the owner of last resort for properties that have been abandoned in the city of St. Louis. When they come into our inventory, they've been vacant and abandoned for at least 5 years, if not 10 years. The keys can be, to get into these properties are at our office, 1520 Market. The key is free, but you do have to sign something saying what property you're going into. You can get a list of the building online, or we do have some building lists here. The alderman printed out about 100 of them for tonight. When you find a building that you want, get online again, print out the application, and turn the application into LRA. It's a $25 application fee. Next. The alderman took a couple pictures of properties that, and if you can see, these properties are doable. These properties have roofs, they have back walls. They're under 1,500 square feet. It's going to take, we do allow sweat equity, so I mean, that could be someone's home. I think you have one more picture. There's another example. There are two-story homes available too. And like I said, these properties are available throughout the city wherever we have the most LRA properties that fit for the program.
I want y'all to notice the address in the ward. It's in the 21st ward. So I want y'all to buy in the 21st ward. Now, the program includes several different wards, but y'all favorite ward tonight is? That's what I'm talking about. Now, that's the 4th ward. That's Alderman Moore. We're going to skip that one. I'm kidding.
Can you go to the next one? That is in Alderman Moore's ward. At any rate, the LRA commissioners meet once a month, the last Wednesday of the month, so the meeting is tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, at 8:30 in the morning. And the commissioners review all of the applications. Here's what we want to see. We want to see that you have the wherewithal to do the rehab of the building. We give you 18 months. For this program, since we're giving these properties away for $1, we're going to require that homeowners, that you occupy the property. That's a condition, but that you go through a home buyer's training. When I bought my first house, those home buyers trainings were available at banks and neighborhood housing and ecumenical housing. We have talked to some neighborhood housing corporations that are willing to work with us on this program to put the buyer through that, and I believe it's a one-day training. Don't quote me on that. But that qualifies you to get this house for $1. And what happens when you close on the property, when we sell it to you, we expect you to get working right away. We expect you to do the exterior, get that done right away. All of this information is available on our website and on the city's website. Although we do have some applications here tonight and information and list of properties, everything is available on the city's website about this program. Alderman Boyd's ward. And there's an example that is it's still manageable. It's two-story, but it's still a manageable property. And then inspect the property. Some of our properties are boarded up, so the key isn't going to get you in. On those properties, you have to make an appointment with the LRA maintenance crew to take those boards off for you and to get you in there, and they'll put the boards back on. We do allow people, if they have the wherewithal, the tools to take the boards on and off, we do allow that. And then there's the offer form is on the city's website. Again, it's a pretty simple form. We will ask if you have income, your earnings, you have any savings. What do you have that's going to get you started on fixing this property up? And these are the requirements and the conditions. Must contact LRA for more information. The home buyers program that we're going to require people to go through, you won't have to go through that immediately. When you pick your house and you give us your budget and you apply for the house and we take it to the commissioners and we say, here's the sales contract, you qualify, you're good to go, that's when we would send you to the program. And you can do it online. So it's a pretty simple program, but you do have to go through that. We want you to live in the property for at least 3 years. We want you to make the exterior repairs fairly quickly. One of the compelling arguments the alderman had is, Laura, if you guys get this out of your inventory immediately and people work on the exterior repairs immediately, it already makes the street look better. It already makes the neighborhood look better. So get those exterior repairs. And again, all of this is all on our website. Everything that we're talking about tonight you can find on the city's website. When do we release the lien on the property? When you get an occupancy permit. And that's typical. You go down to City Hall and apply for the occupancy permit, and then the property is free and clear and it's yours. And we do want you to occupy the property. Some of the questions I heard, and I'm going to have to leave in a minute, but Chevette is here with the rest of the information, and she can come on up. But one of the questions I heard was, what if I live in Florissant and I want to buy one of these LRA properties? Can I still do that? If you agree to live in the home, move to the city and live in the home, yes. So, but that's the key push on this was the alderman was getting people, these houses back on the tax roll, getting homeowners, you know, giving them a chance to get a house for $1 and work on your house for 18 months and live in your house and, you know, become a citizen.